2024, I'm winning. Where we near about Yadimana? Where we near about Yadimana? Yampa, Yampa, what's that before we did that? And that time, not because I said no. Nakana, you want to move. Now you hear. Now every day. Full inflation and I'm 61%. Inflation and I'm 55%. Cement, Ecoso, iron rod bore, Ecoso, contractors for SME, IMF for Society, now what I have to my MIA, Agenda 111, $19, and I'm 19, Bibia bore Ecoso, I'm a Yahuatri. But that time, I think I said, Yawa, which I NDC for Adrian. Time, I to about Ghana, in Texas, Ghana for this and Libreno ever to about MPP. Namijina, I can say, if I do say about to Abano, and now a Muslim a Hata Ghana solo, now about from I'm a for everywhere to my pa. What is the Patapa? Any person say about the 2024 now, the veterans say we have the band. The veterans say we have the band. Amu Peo 2024 Abano and Yadom winning da. Amu winning. What check your record? Amu winning. Na MPP Amano Kono. Yes, you say you better win the election. MPP. Yes, you say you better win the election. It's the enemy. Why be asked why you better win the 2024 Amano? You better so. You're a political party. I saw for one, Imam for one, Omobuku Sawon. That the say you better win the election. It's a quite be you better so. You better win the election. You better so. But you have a question. You better win the election. Me a tia to my pie.
We just stood at the corner, and when he was about to take the hotels, we said, hi, you ran away. And you just say you will not hand over power to President Mahama. I have a message for him. On the 9th of December, inshallah, if the good people vote for Mahama and your MPs, if he's a man, he should not hand over power and see. We will show him that when iron and iron meet, you will see fire. The people of Sisala is here. Somebody told me they have started bringing back the fertilizer. I said they better do it. They said the corrupt man, the corrupt MP for Sisala East has started bringing back the fertilizer. I say they better do. But the truth of the matter is that the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Touare, has said that he does not need the fertilizer from Ghana. So they should give the fertilizer back to the people. And that is why they are bringing the fertilizer back. Somebody told me we will not be able to locate the fertilizer. I said the same donkeys that send the fertilizer to Burkina will show us where the fertilizer is. The donkeys will bring the fertilizer back. So my brothers and sisters, today I am am proud of the crowd I see here. When I go back to Accra, you can expect more fireworks.
We love the message.
I said you can expect more fireworks. Because I know we are backing. And I know the Upper West region is behind the NDC and John Mahama. Finally, they have started apologizing. I hear the NPP say they are sorry. They say they are sorry. Can you bring back the lives of the pensioner bondholders that died? Can you bring back the disgrace the people of the collapsed banks went through for 7 years? Can you run away? We just stood at the corner, and when he was about to take the hotels, we said, hi, you run away. And you tell
and that delusion that it is not because of the irresponsibility, the physical irresponsibility that has occurred under his watch that is causing a direct impact on our falling city, and he believes that is external problems. When the whole world is getting out of the external shocks, then it's the president's. I can only say that we don't have a future. If the president is under that delusion that it is not because of the irresponsibility, the physical irresponsibility that has occurred under his watch that is causing a direct impact on our falling city, and he believes that is external problems. When the whole world is getting out of the external shocks, then it's the president's. I can only say that we don't have a future. If the president still
na na do kwa kufuado odon kwa the president wa ba efie gwochi ekomo mada meboa efie gwochi ekomo nyaden ewiase nyina chi kom no na Ghana wodai aduane wo me na nyame ase nyame aye bia ma party no do na wose de edi kan ene ma sabe tie aha bi je me wo dream ye so ya baburu na wo MPP a asema meka cho ane se osum sompa ubako wanim osum sompa ubako wanim oya tesco ni o oya nsadu adwumo osum sompa oya dai uko wanim de ebinom ni Ghana kodru ye ana ni da so ni no na na do dan kwa kufu adu aba amani to so ya dai aba sa na nyame ba bo do tabomi aba na wasifie papa bi enya ya dai yatsem etienne bijraha bunyina ye kamo ndena na nadu dan kwa kufu adu ase no ayabi na me afaso ahia Ghana fo nyina nyafe so ya papa no abobra na wawuba na woba no abedi wade na odi tapade na ire akona nim na nadu dan kwa kufu adu awu Dr. Baumia ama na Ghana fo nyina o se bakowe ya no ho efe na ho akono ya di Ghana ni ma ya dai eye ya ti MPP kroi ebi sida ya nyina ya be ka bo ma bia ya adwumaden afiwe ami ahye na nadu dan kwa kufu adu ebi se odun kwa Dr. Baumia bere obeba ebi siwa MPP boda Ghana ha ya chechi Ghana abakosama President Kufuor to call retirement. But if the Mr. Kesiri who said, a free say Ghana from 1957. Ever can the new president be our Ghana chain and how do that Kufuor? Messi a free 1957. Back on there, more from a Kwame Krumano, more from Obia, the Wabadi Mampania, what Bongana who buy, and the Ghana Kolanim, China, another Dankwa, Akufuado.
Since His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has delivered the free SHS, his government is better than Nkrumah's government.
To be very brutally frank with you, the comparative between Nkrumah and Akufo-Addo, what was the relevance? Yeah. There was no relevance. It was needless distraction. Go on social media right now. That place nice, a minefield, we all know. And make only not only Facebook, WhatsApp programs. It's so unnecessary, completely irrelevant and needless.
For the occasion.
No.
Yes.
That is agree.
I mean, no, come on, okay. What is our stake right now? It's an election. Election. National elections, parliamentary and presidential. Now why select was running late. Now outdoor. You can exalt NPP projects, achievements, President Akufo-Addo's achievements. You are entitled to do that. Look, you are even entitled to say that he is the best president ever.
Exactly. That's what we were saying.
No, the comparative. Don't drag in another figure. Because that figure on count contest, no. Even Akufo-Addo is not going for the contest, but it's administration, near administration. So, needless distraction. Look, you don't provide ammo
For your opponents.
for either your opponents or neutrals. You don't do it. It's needless. So, it lacked relevance in terms of the comparative edge now of the being. It was needless. And I have to be very honest with you, I'm disappointed. It's not, look, ideologically, historically, yes, we are opponents in terms of things or any writer. That's what Alute was alluding to in terms of my ideological background. There's nothing wrong with it. If he thinks Akufo-Addo has done better than Nkrumah, or JB Dankwa was greater than Nkrumah. This is his ideological world outlook. And me have sleepless nights over that. Because I have a different perspective in terms of our history.
That's right.
And it's normal. That we can't all think the same. The same way, you to judge Ghana's history the same way. In fact, it will be odd for me. From the ideological, political point of view, if that's his view, fine. But the occasion, Kwame, it will focus on the election that is coming, and paint a picture that is positive for your ticket.
Rahila Lema Abeyebi, Dr. Rollins Abeyebi, Dr. John Ajekukufu Abeyebi, Dr. Bakuno, Dr. Atamils Ebeye Kaka, Dr. Okay. Anna Rahila Lema Abeyebi, Dr. Rollins Abeyebi, Dr. John Ajekukufu Abeyebi, Dr. Bakuno, Dr. Atamils Ebeye Kaka, Dr. Okay. Anna Rahila Lema Abeyebi, Dr. Rollins Abeyebi, Dr. John Ajekukufu Abeyebi, Dr. Bakuno, Dr. Atamils Ebeye Kaka, Dr. Okay. Anna
It's a person first and foremost, meaning I want you to say. We are not against mine. Rather, we want to support you tonight. Sisi Ayekasi, offer Operation Vanguard, Operation Hot, Operation Galamsey. Jabaino, they seize it, stop war. Stop war. Yeah, a person who you are not just say. The son said, you person. Mine we ye and Wintina Jacase, baby, our way mine Yano. Ye wa cadesta, fine. No, I let to show. No, dear man, MC. I a friend of the committee from district mining committee.
Oh, good, Mamma. That's what you never said. Or you should get 2 months. But you control what? Why are you and Shank ideas or go away. Oh, yes. So, petrol or that petrol, and I said, authority of the age was a natural. Jeffrey said, you can all hear a moment to her, or also hearing a guy to the team. I said, that they wouldn't have said, oh, board of my mother. I said, the say, or you still get it. Too much to but you won't do what while getting and Shank ideas or go away. Oh, yes.
More Casamwa, I'm an ashe on crying out one was a manzo be answer so on Cotuaba mammy. It is a draw and asian to more of you, my yin yai. Yen so ya fair one again. Operation now, Belco. Security, I form on Motiquan or Mobro 20. Omunian Zibetu or Moka. Tis a old babla. Almost a be friend in your baby alpha. A human way de yai. We are dang. Ija kure ni ye bedie ezuo no so de ye ese no ne da ho ye ese no hwi ni ho ebetimi asie so otimi ma China fo kwan mo be se na ye ne ye tia na ada ne ntonton no mo we ne nya ya de ye ne be se ya de ne nya ya de
ye kan Galamsey asema mo me nka hwe pipe e ba ofie etimetimi na me kase ye kana mon kwasi asem no mo de Galamsey on mine politics na yem mo amhwe nsu eba ye wo se nipa no kitchen na mo no ye ka asem na mo di jimisem saa
before obeko kwa misifa kan na ya ade no o se asend message way to interior minister wadeno so do so ndra monti mechire.
I want the interior minister to come out and say that what I'm saying is a lie. Mr. Mesiko is the Goni cantonment. Abanya otia kunya so a ye wo interior minister Ambrose Derry na yes an krata ne wuho say be national security for if you are too.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today. As a Ghanaian, we need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's the Friday, the 16th day of August, 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here with yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic, Middle Northern Belt drought. Farmers risk loans default. Food security investments under threat. GIRSAL. Teacher nursing training allowances debate resurfaces. Crapper task ECG to address customer concerns. Choose prudence over populism. IFS urges government. Constituency Watch. Ewutu Senya East. Repeat or shocker. The Ghanaian Times. Child adoption rising in Ghana. 158 families apply in first half of 2024. President inaugurates $52 million Bolga Regional Hospital Rehabilitation Project to boost healthcare. Free academic user fee policy targets students who cannot pay. Experts urge NDC. 19 pubs, others fined 475,000 cedis for flouting public smoking law. Daily Guide. Fast-track resolution of customers' concerns. Crapper directs ECG. AG fires Abono for MPP. We won't sign peace pact. NDC. Public Accounts Committee praises SNAIT's financial turnaround. National Security arrests 8 black market operators. Nana commissions refurbish Bolga Hospital. New Weekend Crusading Guide. Drivers go agog over Bawumia's proposal to extend validity of driver's license. SNAIT records impressive financial turnaround, moves from deficit to a surplus exceeding 230 million cedis. Alan's GTP plan will transform Ghana. Samson Ladi. Government crackdown on another illegal forex traders. 8 arrested. Ejapadia document bunkum. Ochinyini secretary slaps hopes in Adoye media with 10 million defamation suits. Ghana gas maintenance staff commended for saving government costs. The Insight. Coalition of CSOs against vigilantism. Catholic bishops, others flay a Greek minister over we won't hand over power threats. Towards improved living conditions with jobs and prosperous future, I believe Alan's movement and GTP can take us there. Samson Ladi. Mahama accuses President Kufuor of wasting resources amidst widespread suffering by students. Zoom Lion partners Teshi Manche to launch homework cleanup exercise. Amid global outcry, Israeli bombardment and massacre continue in Gaza and Palestine. Odainto family gradually losing credibility as it continues to extend boundaries beyond 1904 composite plan. The Herald. Critical documents expose Tobinco, FDA, and Akufo-Addo's law firm in dubious 94 million cedis judgment debt. Lives of Ghanaian children, others were endangered by his fake medicines. FDA boss runs from her negligence in 94 million cedis judgment debt case, announces appeal. Mahama likens Napo's arrogance to pregnancy. Alan Martin promises to revitalize Ghana's economy. NPP launches 2024 manifesto on Sunday. $5 million used to enhance Ghana gas plants. Parliamentary committee impressed. The Informer. As Mahama whines about NPP inroads in Volta, he took World Bank for granted. Obeda Samwa. Ashanti region supports Bawumia. Napo. Chairman Sabonsu backs Alan's return. Government committed to safeguarding state lands. Minister. Addressing mass exodus of health workers, improving conditions of doctors and nurses key, Medical Association. The Inquisitor, 2013 issues with FDA, Elder Tobin tells lies. Ashanti region will support Bawumia Napo assures. Nana keeps dreaming about me, Mahama. Bright blue on GJ at 75. St. John's Grammar Basketball, a legacy of excellence. Who declares monkeypox international health emergency? The Daily Statesman. Don't use pulpit for campaign. Presby moderator cautions church leaders. Parliament's committee happy about Ghana Gas's shutdown works. Snade lauded over 230 million Ghana cedi surplus. Crapper takes ECG to task over customers' concerns. Hopes ensued over a Japadia document. 8 illegal forex traders arrested. President opens Bolga Regional Hospital. The Ghanaian Publisher. Public Accounts Committee lauds Snade's financial turnaround. Presidential debate. Mahama runs from Bawumia. Government has been meticulous in protecting public lands. Jinapo. Hopsin, Media General hit with 10 million cedis lawsuit over a Japadia document. The New Finder. Senate recalls 230 million Ghana cedis surplus from 300 million cedis deficit in 2021. Clear economic direction needed for growth. Ghana Stock Exchange MD. Government outlines strategic reforms for SOEs. Joint National Security Task Force raids 8 illegal forex operators. Apiati tragedy. 82 house owners receive new homes. Daily Post. Who are you to say you won't hand over power? Reverend Matthew Jemfi descends on Brian Achampon. You are arrogant. You don't say evil things about the dead. Mahama slams Napo. NDC won't sign peace declaration ahead of election, says Asiedun Ketia. Mahama won't debate Bawumia because he's a liar. Asiedun Ketia. Business and Financial Times. IEA calls for Ministry of Economy to steer national planning. Standard Chartered commits to driving private sector engagement in AFCFTA. Outlines strategy to boost intra-African trade. African experts call for $5.9 trillion commitment ahead of Baku climate talks. Maximize natural resource revenue to address economic challenges, IFS. And finally, the good old Catholic Standard. Ghana needs honest leaders, Archbishop Anochi. The Missionaries of Hope, Archbishop Kikuchi of Japan as he ordains priest in Ghana. NMC inaugurates boards of GBC and GNA. Using work hours for prayers and Christian. Editorial, Ghana does not need GMO in agricultural production. And that's about it. For the front pages, we'll be back shortly.
She's coming. She's coming.
Oh, it's in. Right now, receive now. Boss, let's go back. Here. Take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh. She's here.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Customer, I don't know who to say.
Malaria been actually on my number still.
One give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. What rest of so give us here and don't down.
But you got so. But tomato give us the and some down.
Give us about me, sir.
If I try the and some down.
Customer. Give us that tonto now. Pa.
Onuya kayo oba wa fa furo nom de o ma no banu fo nom akwada wa ni mfie dumie no ono nso nom.
Bet. Blast. Boom. Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The Pacho Bantama.
Machasi.
That's so cycle.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling to Kawan in a year. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Now let me tell you why you should choose Safari Valley as your conference destination.
The new conference building combines modern amenities with the tranquility of nature, providing the perfect backdrop for your next seminar and corporate retreat.
The only conference destination with so many activities. You don't have to travel to visit your tennis club, the gym, or the stables. They have it all.
Enjoy this rooftop viewing deck, basking in the sunlight with the sight of wild animals roaming freely in their natural habitat.
At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
It's a unique experience that sparks creativity and rejuvenates the mind.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ma uye denwa.
Oh, Mr. Yamfan come and me buru.
Mami go buru. Ni atele be ko. Bra, mumi yamfan ko Dr. Ma ho.
Dr. Ma no ya de.
Bra, se pa ni nompe mu adwuma. Sasabro slow. Dr. Ma oye.
Hey, ni kemi kwa na meka. Oh, nompe mu nimdi onu ana ye expert nya zanfo no. O akra eni kumasi nompe mu expert yen kan kire.
Here is to the friends who took the chance with no regrets. Investors no more hating fortune. To the health workers who diagnosed blacks every move. And then to the hard guy who couldn't hold his emotions. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hand-earned stitches into a bundle of joy, and now here is to you, Your next big win is right here. From 1st July 2024, dial *712# and pass tickets as a group, individual to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with *712#.
By the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
You're struggling.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And I'll let you into a panel for the morning's conversation shortly. And I'm going to also have an interesting conversation on Galamsey, illegal mining, this morning. And you need to really watch up and listen to that one. But I'd like to take you back into time 15 years ago when you had just bought you probably had just bought your first phone or sent a text message via the internet for the very first time or just discovered the ease of moving money around conveniently. Think back to all those moments. Momo has been there for you. Guess what? Momo is 15 years old. From the first time you send money to a loved one to pay your bills effortlessly or enjoying the peace of mind that comes with secure, safe, and reliable transactions. It's been an amazing journey so far. Now get ready for some mouth-watering offers as we celebrate Momo at 15. Look out for our market storms and floats near you and win some mind-blowing prizes. Thank you, Ghana, for doing this with us. Download my Momo on App Store or Google Play and just Momo it everywhere you go. And if you're thinking of getting that toothpaste that will take care of the entire family, which is affordable, of top quality, and also approved by the Food and Drugs Authority, we're talking about KEL 360 toothpaste. It provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KEL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KEL 360 toothpaste. It brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use KEL 360 toothpaste. It's another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. Available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246 864798. KEL 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging irrespective of your age. But worry no more. Lift and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices. And guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumono or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. All right, so Well, this morning on the show, I'll have with me Dr. Dixon Adumaku-Kisi, who's the Member of Parliament for the Anyasu constituency. He's also a medical practitioner. Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Well, I've seen the son of man. He will join us pretty shortly. Samuel Okujato Ablakwa, Member of Parliament for the Northern constituency, was also the chairman of the Assurances Committee in Parliament. But look, yesterday, during my conversation with the CEO of the Electoral Commission, the issue of Galamsey operations at Konongo, where now they had dug just up to about some 5 meters from the Kumasi Highway, came up. The brazenness and all that. We've seen stories about this fight against Galamsey having gone up in a smoke, and that all the water bodies and everything are messed up. The forest reserves are messed up, and it looks like we're going from bad to worse. Look, Erastus Asare Donko is, in my opinion, so that's the Konongo picture. This is how far. This is the Kumasi Accra Highway. And the pit you see there, that's Galamsey. That's how close they've come to the main highway. That's how brazen it's become. Now, Erastus Asare Donko is, in my view, the leading Ghanaian journalist when it comes to the issues about illegal mining and its effect. And he's risked his life. He's risked a lot to actually bring to the fore a lot of the happenings as far as illegal mining is concerned. I'd like to speak with him on what the current state is and what is actually happening. Good morning, Erastus. Hello, Erastus. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Randy.
How are you doing?
God's grace, oh, I'm well.
Right. We thank God for your life. Let me start off by congratulating you for the risk that you've taken to do this great service to our country. And I can appreciate how frustrating it is when you bring out all these things and it appears that nothing is really been done. But let me congratulate you for this selfless service to God and country.
Thank you very much, Randy.
Okay. So about 7 years ago, President Akufo-Addo launched a fight against illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. And he actually pledged that he was prepared to put his presidency on the line to ensure that we win this fight. Where are we with this fight?
I would say that the fight has failed. It looks like the president has given up, sadly. And now he has kowtowed to the pressure from the citizenry. And because of elections, now they've opened the floodgates. And everybody is mining everywhere and anywhere. And it's so sad that we have very fine laws that are supposed to regulate the sector. And if you want to mine, and of course we cannot stop mining, definitely we can do sustainable mining, protect the environment, get our gold, government gets some taxes, and everybody is happy. But we have rather chosen the other way around, that we will continue to do it the illegal way, do it haphazardly, endanger our own lives, contaminate the environment, and continue. So what we are seeing today is not Konongo alone. I have gone to the Ayamfre Road, precisely Wasada Dieso. That town has now become a spectacle when it comes to illegal mining. It's being done in the town itself. Chiefs are involved, opinion leaders, assembly members, police in that area, and even local authorities are involved. And it's being done within the settlement itself, by the roadside. And the poison that comes, the residue that comes from the mining is flowing along the Ayamfre Road. So when you are driving on that stretch, you see the a river of residue flowing down the road, just like that. And you see the pits, huge pits by the roadside. When you go to Mankranso, as we speak, mining by the roadside is happening. At Osino, just by the Kumasi-Accra road, they have pitched camp there. They are doing the washing, the processing, and everything right by inches from the main road. And that the water that has settled beneath the road seeks to, eat deep into the Kumasi-Accra road. At Samai Tamfwe, right after Osino. Another one is just by the roadside. And that gentleman is called Kosia Samoa. He came to me. We went there to find out why he's doing that. And of course, it's against the law. If I should read you that part of the law, it says the Minerals and Mining Act 2006 at 703, specifically Section 15 of the Act, states that a person shall not engage in mining activities within a protected area, a forest reserve, a water body, a public place, a settlement, or an area within 50 meters from a public road. And this is just inches from the main Kumasi-Accra road. There's an excavator which is sitting there. There's a washing bay, artisanal washing bay, as if we are in a jungle. When you go to Konongo, that stretch is within the middle of Konongo itself. That is the river Oweri, which flows through that valley. It's just close to the main Kumasi-Accra road. And I could count over 15 excavators sitting in that valley, mining it away. So Randy, it's as if now there's a holiday for nature crimes. When you go to Dungao, there are people with champagne machines sitting on the river of Fing, polluting it, and just a few meters from there is a police barrier. And they are doing their job as if there is no crime being committed. And it's sad. It's I don't know how to describe it. As we speak, there is a GSB, a globally significant biodiversity area, which is supposed to be protected. It's a forest reserve, which has rare tree species. I'm talking about the Tano Anua Forest Reserve. As we speak, there is a popular politician whose party is in power, and he's in there. They are cutting down the trees. Meanwhile, that area belongs to is a timber right which belongs to Samatex, and it's been given out to Clean Jobs. Even before Clean Jobs itself obtains the necessary processes to start what they call formal large-scale mining, there's a popular politician who has gone in there, and yesterday I received pictures and videos of how they are cutting down trees and going the same artisanal way of mining, which has destroyed their Pamprama forest reserve. So maybe this particular government seeks to make money out of our lives. Because the more you destroy the environment, definitely you are destroying our lives. And I think it's a shame that as a people, as learned people from academia and all that, we will sit idly by and watch our environment degraded and poisoned the way we are doing it.
Now, Erastus, up until the middle of 2020, it appeared that we were quite serious. We saw the military being used. Yes, there were issues, but it appeared that there was some spirited fight. What is it that has changed?
You see, we have pumped so much money into a failing system. We all know that when you send the people who are sending the military to fight illegal mining are themselves involved. It's like sitting in a cup and lifting yourself by the handle. So they have areas they go, they have areas they do not go. They have areas they go and they get the big fishes calling them back. And that is why the use of the military, precisely Galamsey, Operation Vanguard, Operation Halt 1, Operation Halt 2, and the other scattered military regimes have failed. You are burning other people's excavators, and few meters from where you are burning the excavators, there are some people who cannot be touched, and they are allowed to use the excavators to mine illegally. How do you regulate the sector that way? So that money has failed to yield the right results. And we continue to fight the same firefighting approach we're using. Whilst we can hold the district assemblies, the local authorities accountable, because they live. So in Konongo, for example, what is happening there, the DC or MC should be accountable, held accountable, and made to answer. The chiefs in the area could be called to order. They could face the law. That is if the person in authority has the political will to fight. And I don't see that in the current president.
Now, Erastus, a few months ago, there was this video in the Western region where, from the Western region, sorry, where the regional minister, Kobi Daku Mensa, Ochiri Daku, I hope I got the name right. Yes, Kobi Ochiri Daku, I believe. Yes. He was there with a parliamentary candidate. And they had met some of these miners, and they were telling them that all these military operations, I'm actually showing the visuals of that, all those military operations have ceased. They've, in fact, stopped all of them. And that they should do their own drawings and bring them for some approvals, and that they were going to set up WhatsApp platforms where the minister and the security people will be there, so that anytime they are arrested, they can quickly put the information out there so that they can be sorted out or released. Now, I try to scan the media, and I don't remember the last time I heard of or saw any of such military operations against illegal mining. We've also heard of this talk about, look, the MPP lost a lot of votes in the mining areas because of a fight against Galamsey. And therefore, if they intend to win this election, then they would have to veer off that particular strategy. What do you make of this?
Well, it's not surprising, and that is what I've been talking about for a very long time. On the ground, when they send military regimes, I have followed some of the military task forces around for a very long time, and I know how they operate. I know the kind of people who call these commanders on the field and what they tell them. I'm privy to some of the information and the kind of people who call. And so I'm not surprised that he said that, because that is what happens on the ground. A number of times you have faceless people in government who wield so much power. They identify the areas that are full of gold. And mind you, when you apply for licenses, you present your data and the geological data, and they see that, okay, there's so much gold here. Sometimes they intentionally, the system intentionally frustrates you, doesn't give you the necessary permits so that they will go round back with their own people and mine. And so before you even go through the process, they are mining your concession, and there's nothing you can do about it. So we have a regime, a licensing regime that is not straightforward. It is controlled by politicians. We have instances where you apply. It takes a long process. They will delay you. They will frustrate you if you are not part of their cabal. And I can give you so many instances. That Clean Jobs concession in the Tanwanya Forest Reserve has taken almost about 3 years to process. And then recently, the politician I'm talking about has gone to the next door of that concession and has started mining illegally. They do not have the requisite licenses, but as we speak, they have macho men and other fully armed people protecting them. And before you realize, they have mined from that location and eaten into your concession. And there's nothing you can do.
I don't have that evidence.
So they have their people on the ground who are violating the law with impunity, and it's because people in authority, people who have power, are behind that. And to me, it's not like rocket science where we cannot fight this illegality that is going on. Secondly, now back to your political statement. Now, it is true when you speak with the Galamsey people, some of whom tell you that they sponsored MPs, they sponsored campaigns of Nanado at the time, and they were expecting a second kind of promise. I disagree with people who say that it was because Nanado was fighting illegal mining, that is why he lost in certain areas. When you speak with the Galamseyers, they will tell you, it wasn't, they did not vote against him because he was fighting illegal mining, but because he stopped them, bent their machines, and allowed his own people to mine. And to them, that is not fair. So if you are applying the law, then it must apply to everybody. But you don't apply the law to them, bend their machines, and then you ask your own people, go there to mine, protected by the military. And it has happened with the Pamprama Forest Reserve, where Imperial Heritage Mining was in there, mining, under the protection of over 35 fully armed military men. I was detained in that forest, part of the forest, for 5 hours with my team. Some of my team members were assaulted by the military. Why will the military paid by the taxpayer be protecting a miner who is pillaging a forest reserve if they are not protected by powerful people? So that is why the reasons that they give for voting against anybody, not because somebody is fighting illegal mining.
Now, Erastus, do we have a single water body which was hitherto affected by illegal mining, Galamsey, that we can say has cleared up as we speak today? Just one.
Randy, I will urge everybody to go out. If you are traveling on the Axim Road, just go to the estuary at Akosombo and see it for yourself. Things have gotten worse with the Ankobra River. They've mined directly in the river from all the Nzema towns, from Banso to Awolenzo to Douale, all along that road, the stretch. They are sitting directly on the riverbed, mining with sampan machines. Come to Ashanti region, the offing is inundated by over 300 of these sampan machines at Achumampunwa and its environs, Abumpe, Abesia and its environs, and they are there, they are mining, clearing. You go to Dunkwao, on the offing, close to a police barrier, there are sampan machines on the offing there. The same applies to Tano. Look at what the Chinese are doing to the Tano River. And when we expose some of these things coming from their own regional chairman who was mining directly into the Tano River at Samreboy, nothing was done. And they are there. They are still polluting the river. Go to Brim in the eastern region and look at the number of sampan machines that are polluting it. Yesterday I passed there. Look at the color of the river. And some of them, they are even drying up. The same applies to the Pra River. Recently, we were at Dabwasi, the intake point of the Ghana Water Company Limited. And the level of pollution used to be around 3,800. The first time we went there was around 1,800. Then we went there again, it was 3,400. The figures released by the Ghana Water Resources Commission put it around 3,000 and above. Now the water company itself put it around 7,000 NTU.
Whoa.
And the normal rate, the WHO accepted level, It's 5 for drinking water. 5. Subtract that from 7,000. That is the level of pollution of the Pra River, which they are pumping to trees and send to homes. We tested it. We found high levels of heavy metals, arsenic, chromium, lead, cadmium in there. Please ask them whether Ghana Water Company's treatment process now can lift heavy metals from the water. So are we not poisoning our own people? And almost every river I have come across, the Bia, all the major ones we used to learn in our books, geography books, are gone, polluted, contaminated, highly polluted. And it's not me saying it. You can drive to any of them and watch. You will see it for yourself.
What about the forest reserves?
So the forest reserves, like I told you, the Tano Anya, which is the GSBA, is currently being invaded as we speak. There are men in there. One is a popular politician whose party is ruling now.
Who's that?
They are there. I won't mention the name because I need to provide you with the evidence that links him to it.
That's fine.
But on the ground, I know.
That's fine. Okay.
On the ground, I know. And he knows himself. He can stop. The forest reserve, the Apamprama Forest Reserve in the Ashanti region, the Forestry Commission says 50% of it is gone. 50. I went there, I flew a drone, I showed you pictures. It's online. It's called Forest Under Siege, Apamprama Forest Reserve. You can watch it. And you can see the level of devastation. Miles, pits and gullies. Now, the areas that have been given out legally with the enactment of the LI 2462, which now gives the president an opportunity or the power to grant even protected forest reserves for mining. And with the enactment of that guideline, now almost all the GSBAs have been given out. Boy Tano, Tano Anya, Draw River, in Drabanso has now, there's somebody who is there mining. Tano Nimre has officially been given out. After Akonta mining invaded the place, now has been formally been given out with the enactment of this guideline. So it's like we don't have a plan. And if you go there and you look at the kind of mining they are doing there, even if you're giving it out, let's have a plan. So you want to mine this forest. What kind of mining method are you going to use? Is it surface mining? Is it underground mining? Can we decide which one will be good for the environment? If it's underground, get people who can invest and do it properly so that we can have the environment for other things. You give concessions and they coincide with somebody's timber rights. How do you get to the mineral without destroying the person's investment?
Now, Rastus, I watched a documentary you did with Joy News a couple of days ago, and you were with some expatriates or a diplomatic community, and you were speaking about how some people in some communities are trying to purify the contaminated water in their respective areas. Can you take us through that?
So some diplomats requested that I give them evidence of the impact of Galamsey on the lives of people in some communities. So I took them to Ewusiejo. It's on the Takrady Road. And Ewusiejo is situated close to the Butre River. And, if you know the history of that place, that is their livelihood. They used to fish in the river. They use the river for their chores. It's their source of water. Now, that river is contaminated. It's highly polluted. We tested samples from it. We found high levels of heavy metals. They were drinking it still 2 years ago until the education came that is full of poison. And so the assembly members in the area, did announcements and they stopped drinking it. But now they do not have other sources of water. The boreholes in the town, I think, are about 2, and they are very far away from some of the residents. So when I went there with them, the women demonstrated how they clean the water and use it. To them, they are cleaning the water. So they buy aluminum sulfate.
Listen.
And it's sold in shops in the area, like you're buying tomatoes. So a lump of it costs 1 cedi. They buy the aluminum sulfate, they fetch the polluted water, they mix it with it, and then it settles the particles. And then they pour what is on the top, and they use it to do their domestic chores. And when I look at the kids, they say that when they use the cleared water to bath, it gives them skin rashes. And you look at the kids, all the rashes on their bodies. The same thing I realized at Rwanda, which is sitting directly by the Pra River. Aluminium sulfate is sold all over, and that's what the women use to clear the water, and they use it to wash utensils, use it to bath.
So you see, he said.
And you know the health effects, because once you clear the water, you think it's safe. It's not safe. The heavy metals and other things are still there. And the aluminium sulfate itself has an effect on the skin. And the diplomats I sent there were shocked. So that's how people are clearing water and using it, the polluted water, because many of them do not have other options or many of the options to go to.
Well, Erastus, this is heart-wrenching, but look, on the basis of all your experiences, I've heard you say that you don't think that this government can deal with this issue. They've not shown anything at all in dealing with it. But from your experiences, I mean, we obviously can't continue living like this. What's the way out? How do we deal with this issue?
I think that eminent people in this country have been sleeping for too long. They should wake up. Parliament itself has been sleeping, and they should wake up on Galamsey. They have some responsibility. They should start speaking. Organized labor should not sit idle. The media, some of us are doing some jobs. How can we dedicate more time to this? Because this is an existential threat. It affects all of us. We should start serious campaign on this thing. These are few people who are messing up with the health of an entire country. If the president is not acting, which so far, because I'm not seeing anything, now every fight is gone. There is no military anywhere fighting anything. At the district level, there is no restraint. So can we start speaking? Can we start mounting pressure and demanding the GMA, the Ghana Medical Association, the TUC, and all other institutions, Parliament itself, should rise up and speak. The clergy should join this. Let's not leave it in the hands of a few people to talk about it. Together, I think we can demand that something, the right thing, is done. We are not saying that we shouldn't mine. We will mine. That is why we have set up laws to guide mining, responsible mining. Let's demand that we start restructuring the process and getting things done the right way so that we can save our environment.
Erastus, thank you so very much for joining me this morning. And I can only pray for divine safety and security for you and say that God richly bless you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Randy.
Right. Okay. So that's Erastus. I don't know what to say. But Doc, let me start over here.
Yeah. So This reminds me of the professor who's left the country to Canada.
Sampini.
To Canada.
Yes.
Because of the, let me say, the toll and the pain. You see, when you're a bit knowledgeable about the side effects of the chemicals they use, the impact on the environment, and the unborn. And I say the unborn because it really affects growth. It really affects the growth of babies in the womb. And, where you have missing arm, missing limbs, and all kinds of things, an eye, all kinds of abnormalities. When you look at all of these things, and the fact that even people can get cancer from drinking these water that is affected. And then even from a managerial standpoint, Ghana Water has been complaining numerous times about the fact that their equipment for processing water, drinkable, clean water, has been heavily impacted by mining. I worry. And water is life. Are we going to get to a point where we have to then, as a country, be importing water to drink? I mean, that would be ridiculous. Looking at the blessings the Almighty has given us in terms of our water bodies. That would be the most ridiculous thing, that Ghana starts importing water to drink. But if we're not careful, we'll get there. And this is not about, sometimes people get me wrong. This is not about NDC, MPP. This issue is above, it transcends political colors. And I'm not going to necessarily talk about the best approach because it involves so many people. And I think that as a nation, we need to come to terms with the fact that this is our drug war. If you're in Mexico, drugs are a big deal, and they fight it with everything. Even with that, the government is struggling. And I think that our drug war is illegal mining, or let me say mining. And we need to be very, very proactive moving forward. Obviously, the measures or the programs that we've tried up to date, though some have been successful, and I can say that the Mrekudukas, the minister himself, Abu Jinapo, and many other organizations are doing something. I mean, and I must always commend now Dr. Frimpong, who has also certainly added his voice and must I say, for wrong or obvious reasons, lost his position because I think he was very firm and resolute in trying to make sure that illegal mining is stopped, or the ravages or effects of the illegal mining can be reduced. But be it as it may, I think that this thing requires a whole different thinking. And when I listen to the audio visuals from the boys who engage in the illegal mining and their rationale, though I can agree with them in some domains. I mean, they need jobs and livelihood so that they can also help their family have bread and butter. But I really think that if these things are very well organized, if they are well equipped, and they are paid appropriate salaries, and the government can operate this in a very franchise type of way, where people can get, safe ways of doing this, that might be our best way. So I'm looking at how do we replicate Anglo Gold in ways that many more small-scale miners can, have a safe approach to mining and employ these same young boys and make sure that they, for what they find, they get appropriate remuneration. Because I think part of this whole problem is that when they do it like this, when they get their gold, they get huge returns. And I think, the Anglo Golds are not set up that way. When the work, everything gets taken, and the staff members are left out, really, compared to the remuneration, the profit. And I know that some of these mining big companies lift so much more than we are even aware as a nation. But I really think that, I won't say that it's an MPP crisis, because this issue has been brewing and brewing and brewing. But certainly, whether we like it or not, political will is suffering. And what I mean by political will, and this doesn't go for just the NDC or the MPP, because I think Okujato is very well aware that in 2016, 2020, some elements, even within the NDC, were strongly campaigning for Galamsey. Though I know it wasn't a party stand, I don't think the NDC would, put that as a party stand. But elements, and likewise, I must admit, within the MPP too, Ephibia, is it Mensa? I don't want to be discriminatory, but the adage is that Ephibia, Mensa, Ewum. But the Mensas are now becoming, too brazen. Look at the one you showed by Konongo or so, where they are literally digging into the road. And the next thing you know, the sand and the water will wash this whole place, and it will become another, devastating problem, and we'll have to put a bridge there because it is eaten literally into a major road, not even 100 meters away, right into. You can tell that it's about, I must say, maybe about a foot away from the road. So this is not just let me say, a village issue. Those of us in the cities must not think so, because we go back to our homes for funerals, we go back to our villages for all kinds of things, and when you go there, you drink water. Even if you carry your water there, as the story states, you bath. Or are we going to now take sachet water to our villages to bath? No. What is good for the Accra population in terms of good drinking water is also good for everybody in this country. So one, I think that our environment ministry, and this is impacting even Agric. People say that they would give their cocoa lands for Galamsey, or Galamsey is destroying our cocoa yield in this country. Galamsey is destroying our timber yield. Galamsey is destroying our rubber yields in this country. And I really think that this is a national crisis that needs to be looked at in a holistic, apartisan way. And I say apartisan because if we don't work at this and take it as an NDC, MPP, movement for change, which other parties are there, then we won't get far. And I personally am getting tired of adding political colors to Galamsey, because if supposing the NDC is not careful, I'm just making a point. Governments do change. If they should have another regime, they will have this, because as it stands now, maybe some Galamseyers too are supporting the NDC in their bid to come 2024. And when they come, what happens? The same people who helped you in lean times now show up, when you're in government and say that, hey, had it not been me, you'd not be in power. So we really need to look at this very carefully. And I really think that I'm weeping from a health standpoint, the health impact of the chemicals they are using, even the health impact on those who are working with the chemicals, and the lives that are lost. I know that the pits have taken many lives that we don't even know. Some of the boys, when they go and it happens, they come home, nobody talks about the other brother or, person who the pit has taken. And these are real life accounts of some of these Galamseyers. And if we should quantify also the drug use around some of these places, I was talking to one of the MPs from Ofinto, and the vices associated with even Galamsey, because these boys, some of them take very hard drugs to be doing those jobs, or they get influenced by the kind of people they work with, and from weed smoking to even cocaine and other drugs that I better not even mention on TV, and the fact that we have even people from foreign countries coming into Ghana, straight from Ivory Coast, straight from Togo, just going straight to Galamsey sites to work. And when you even talk to them, they are speaking in French. And you wonder, hey, I thought I'm in Ghana. So this is becoming, we cannot become the hub in West Africa for bad mining practices. We need to reverse that. And I'm very much, troubled. I think even the North now is also becoming an issue in WOW. I remember one of the MPs from the Northern region was saying that, the Galamsey thing, I thought it was really just Southern, but from what I'm hearing, it is catching on like fire in some of the Northern regional sectors. And clearly, we need to find ways and means to attend to this in a bipartisan or apolitical way. If not, the political will, if it's all disseminated, will lead us into anarchy of some sort. Yeah.
No, Solomon, I'm looking at this and I'm saying that if a country, a sovereign country, declares a presidential war on illegal mining, and 7 years on, this is what we have as the evidence of the war. A situation that has degenerated vastly from when the war was declared. I mean, what else can be said about failure than this?
Have a national crisis. It is clear that
She's coming. She's coming.
Oh, it's in. Madam, receive now.
Boss, let's go back.
Here, take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh.
She's here. Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Using Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture, brought to you by Coa Research and Manufacturing Limited Company, proudly made in Ghana. Formulated to support your general well-being. For those seeking immune system support, there is Coa Plus Mixture. Support your body's defenses and stay strong. When it comes to combating malaria, Coa MT Mixture will aid your treatments. For effective relief from malaria symptoms, try Coa MT Mixture. Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture are not recommended for pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children under 12 years. Always take a malaria test before using Coa MT Mixture. Choose Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture for your health needs. Available now at pharmacies nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact 0244-726611 or 0591-565-778. This advert is
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Blast. Boom! Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more. Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204 950 810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
Boss lady back. Let's go. Hold on to your seats, folks. Such anyway, be you smooth. Way enter your friend will upgrade. Luckiest and the best part, that with the luckiest, Obia or a shot to a good life. And I'm talking to you, me, your girlfriend, your ex, your neighbors, your landlords, and even Goro boys. And no one is over dialing with lucky number. Star 712 hash. No. Coswato ticket to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Kwanya.
Hey, neke kwa maunga kukuozea.
Mukomanya muduma ne muje ka voters register ne azo.
Duzu register.
Electoral commission kamo ye we vle bia mo be bad gala. Be ma ya adre ne ha ye na ne ye duma ne ye mujeke 20th August kokura joke 27th August 2024. Ye ba shejuma dire ya abu 7 am na ya kwane 6 pm de ubi ala.
Anu modikem kwa nyam de kakra. Check.
Ne mujeke bia ala wo voters register ne azo. Ekwano kwa elkabi mo oseke bekechi be mala bebe hechi ba mo mu elkamo ekadogan na ezan ko elle adren etinde etia ebia mo onsaka otogan la enwo so bia la mo ewul beka yiduma beka bi era do ekata ne azo
Odikem kone mduma kakra
Steko konia no kwake mu kanene ne melamo e ba via ye
konia
olua era do 2024 ni 80 ara do ngbayima mo e fa krata ne aga ama ebia la ania Mwike aba wanya enwudweka wa mlamo beye yikre eshi wo dweka 20th August kokura dweka 27th August 2024 yeba shejuma dire ya abu 7 am na ya kwane 6 pm de ubiara wo adana for flazo men mo be helala ba phone ba nya beduma helawon edweka wo mlam bebo *711 *51 # wo network biara azo men mo be milbakata anake be hu elekama babadwela no kumba ho elekama beye yikre la ba Banya beduma ne benwudweke era drengben ma monoko babu abe ma banya benwudweke wa mlemo bene era dre krata anmo ala adne to ran la le adne tindetia ewemo osuzike olikekra oli yovle jajun lendene eva ewe krata anake anrene ene elkazan
konya
wa madre le wakni bi
one was there. Manzo be answers more can someone. I'm an ashe on crying out one was there. Manzo be answers on Cotoaba mammy. It is a draw and I see to more of you, my yin. Yen so ya fair one again. Operation now belko. Security I form on Motikwan on Mobro 20. Omunian Zibetu or Moka. And tis a old babla. Almost a friend in your baby alpha. A demand the way they yai. We are dang. The Jacob knew ye baby. Is you so the yes, no. And that the yes, no. She knew a bit me as ye. Don't me my China for crime on Bessena. Yanny etia, not done in Tonton no more, and ye idea. Yanny
Right, welcome back to the show. Apologies for the problem with the sound. Apologies with that. We'll get to the Honorable Kujeto Ablakwa shortly. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. I still have with me Dr. Dixon Adumakukisi and the Honorable Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa. But I also cool. The Akosombo down be big, but better is cash out be bigger. I enhanced the early partial and auto cash feature. Let you cash your bets out early, cash out a portion of your ongoing bets, or even set your bets to cash out automatically. All this to give you way more control over every thrilling bet you place. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. It's not for persons under 18. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women. So go and grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. You can reach Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208-128-190, 055-001-0000. Son of man, apologies for the break.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Not your fault. I was saying that it's a very depressing morning, but we must commend Erastus Asare-Donko. He has been very consistent. He has not given up. It's not easy to really pursue this matter, which has so many high and mighty in very, very strategic offices of our country who will crush anybody who wants to shed light on their nefarious activities. But Erastus has been very consistent, and this morning I want to celebrate him and salute him highly for his consistency. And I think that it's a shame that he appears to be largely the sole ranger in those very dangerous forests, always bringing us these developments. And it is high time we all support him. But Randy, you were asking about how failure of leadership looks. This is it. Nothing can be more stark, more compelling, more classic than this. The President of the Republic puts the presidency on the line and says that he will do everything in his power to stop Galamsey. And several years down the lane, this is what we see. I keep saying consistently, and Doc, I have said that here time without number, that what this country needs in its leaders is not rhetoric, it's not eloquence, it is not charisma, it is not handsomeness, it is not sound bites, it is not ability to campaign on platforms, to debate. It is not the ability to read speeches. It is not your connections, your networks, ability to make party people happy. What we really need in leadership in our country is integrity. Integrity, I keep saying that. Integrity. So that when you look at us in the face and you tell us that when I come to power, I will do this, we can trust you to keep that promise. When you look at us in the face and tell us in a profound statement that I am willing to put my presidency on the line to save this country, to stop Galamsey, so that all of us will be alive. You must have the integrity to follow through. We see from the revelations that it was rather a fight all along about taking out the people who don't have political and familial connections, those who don't belong to our ilk, taking them out of the way and replacing them with our own party people or with Chinese characters who have money bags, who will pay. It is the lack of integrity in national leadership that has brought us here. Clear lack of integrity. And Doc, let me remind all of us as citizens that under Article 41 of the Constitution, we must not leave this fight to only Erastus Asare-Donko to carry out. Article 41 of our Constitution provides the exercise and enjoyment of rights and freedoms is inseparable from the performance of duties and obligations, and accordingly, it shall be the duty of every citizen. And let me skip A, B, C all the way and get to K. It shall be the duty of every citizen, K, to protect and safeguard the environment. To protect and safeguard the environment. We have a collective responsibility, a collective obligation to protect and safeguard the environment. Look at what is happening. And only God knows how all of us here, even those seated here, have been affected, and we don't know. All the food we eat, the yam, the cassava, the maize, where are they coming from? The soils these seedlings were planted in. What is happening in those soils? Has cyanide, mercury not seeped through? And we are at the receiving end, thinking that we have the means, the money to buy and feed fat. What are we consuming? What are the implications of that for our health, for the children yet to be born and their children? The water we drink, not only at home, at work. Come here, you serve us water. At events, you don't always control which kind of water, which brand of water you buy. You don't know where they are being processed, which method. Because you ask Erasmus a very important question. That is there any river in our country except one? He said that he hasn't found one. So all the water we are drinking, what is the guarantee that we are not all drinking contaminated water, polluted stuff? Do we have any hope that we are not currently on a mission of total and unmitigated suicide? Because that's what it is. We are on a suicidal mission. Leadership which lacks integrity is complicit. And the current leadership have so disappointed us that there are no guarantees that we can count on a healthy life, on longevity, and we will not suffer the consequences of this destructive malice. And you see, Doc, I've been doing a little analysis of our budget. The budget for the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, just over the last 3-4 years. And it is clear that Operation Vanguard, it's clear that the president abandoned this fight long ago, gave up on the fight long ago. It probably never even started the fight at all. If you read Appendix 4A of the 2021 budget, page 219, Operation Vanguard, what was allocated by the government and approved by Parliament was 17,100,000 and 60 Ghana cedis, about 17 million. Then you come to the 2022 budget. Operation Vanguard, what was approved at page 240, Appendix 4A of the 2022 budget. Operation Vanguard, you see here, 20,201,000. Then you come to the 2023 budget. Operation Vanguard, it drops from 20.2 million to only 3.2 million. Only 3.2 million. Operation Vanguard. And anti-Galamsey operations. That is how it is described in the budget. Drops from 20 million the previous year to 3.2 million. Then you take the current budget, 2024 budget. It further drops to 2.8 million. And I recall, why do you have they couldn't tell us, and they refuse attempts to reallocate and have more resources for Operation Vanguard. So when you hear the Western Regional Minister say that, oh, you local miners, forget about all this Operation Vanguard, we have stopped it. We've urged the soldiers to go back to their barracks. When you analyze the budget, clear confirmation. It is obvious to me that because President Akufo-Addo, Vice President Bawumia, and their government knew that they would face a backlash if suddenly all the activists, the environmentalists, the strong anti-Galamsey coalition discovered that there is no allocation in the budget at all. It doesn't appear. There will be such an uproar. There will be an upheaval. Let's keep it there. But the real commitment is not in keeping it there. It is in how much has been put in the budget, how much has been allocated. So from 20 million, we dropped to 3.2 million, and we are now at 2.8 million. 2.8 million. Even the rations for soldiers, they are feeding. How much would that be? 2.8 million for a whole year, for 2024.
Boku cost us.
Boku is costing us 18 million cedis a quarter. Every quarter.
3 months.
Every 3 months.
So
6 million cedis a month.
Just Boku.
Just Boku. And the MP, the Honorable Ayariga, tells us that there's been relative 18 million is going consistently. Only God knows whether 18 million cedis is going. Between Boku and this national crisis, I'm not saying that don't spend resources in bringing peace in Boku. But really, why should we be seeing such a dwindling allocation? Now, Doc, when you analyze the budgets further, you hear these young people saying that Ejuma niho, and then amopese to wit, there is no employment. What do you want us to do? Doc, are you aware that this government lobbied the international community, brought the success, the approval of that support from the international community to Parliament, and we approved it. So, if you pay regard to the 2022 budget, page 240, Appendix 4A, there is a program which was approved by Parliament. The first time it appeared in our budget, you study any of our budgets of the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry. This is the first time Parliament approved this allocation. It's called the Alternative Employment and Livelihood Project, and it is for Galamsey operatives who were supposed to be dislodged because government says that they are fighting Galamsey. We happily joined them, approved this allocation, 270 million. The question is, where is that money? Should young people be telling us that there is nothing for us, there are no jobs, we don't know where to go, so we will continue with Galamsey? Where is the 270 million Ghana cedis?
Maybe
that parliament
maybe they are not interested in what this alternative provides.
They haven't said so. The youth haven't said so. The government must be accounting to us, because as we go around, we don't know what this 270 million has been used for. That is not all. You come to 2023, we approve another 21.7 million in addition to the 270 million for the previous year for the same alternative employment and livelihood project in the 2023 budget. So 300 million Ghana cedis in 2 years, that's a lot of money. We want to see the youth, the names, the list. Who are those who benefited? 300 million? Look, a lot of these young people, because we all know that these young people we see doing the Galamsey, they are not the real kingpins. They just get peanuts. The real Galamsey dons. I mean, you heard Erastus Asari talk about this top politician. You think the top politician, have you seen any top politician in the Galamsey pit before? Aisha Huang, who was allowed to escape until her foolhardiness and she came back. Thank God, and now we grabbed her after a lot of upheaval. The senior minister was defending her escape, saying that what will we benefit if she is charged and dealt with, and that the nolle prosequi they filed is justified. No shame, absolutely no shame. The senior minister, he had no shame in telling us that. Did you ever see Aisha Huang in a pit? So this 300 million Ghana cedis could have transformed lives if the young people of this country heard that 300 million come for just a few thousands to start your business.
Maybe you should ask a question in Parliament.
Yes, definitely.
So we can get the details.
Yes, I've made a note here. Yes. 300 million cedis. Then you see, Doc, that is not all we are spending on Galamsey, the so-called Galamsey fight. You will be shocked how much has gone into a project they call National Afforestation Program. Because they say Galamsey has destroyed our forests. It has reduced our forest cover. And we all know that. It is true. It's a fact. Our forest has suffered. Listen to the huge allocations. National Afforestation Program. 2021, 106 million Ghana cedis, referred to page 219 of the budget. 106 million. 2022, National Afforestation Program, 10.7 million. 2023, National Afforestation Program, referred to page 197 of the budget, 100 million. 2024, referred to page 192 of the budget, 55 million. National Afforestation Program, 55, 100, 10, 106.
But we hear of tree planting all the time. You guys participate in it.
Yeah.
All of you MPs are part of it.
But the question I asked this morning is that what is wrong with us? What is the sense in spending all of these hundreds of millions
to plant trees?
To plant trees.
And then allow
when we are busy destroying what is left, the few left. We have allowed Galamsey to continue to be at an all-time high. What is wrong with us? Why should we participate in this? Look, I have decided I'm no longer going to participate in this national afforestation program. I will not. It's a total waste of my time. And the earlier this government apologizes to all of these dignitaries who have been compelled to participate, former President Kufuor, former President Mahama, diplomatic community, Speaker of Parliament, all of these eminent chiefs, hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis. And yet this is what we are doing. What is the use? What is the essence? You set a day aside, bring all these prominent Ghanaians, let's go plant trees. And then there is no guarantee that these trees that we are planting will actually address the gap. We are rather creating a bigger gap. We are rather allowing the rest of the trees, all the trees, to be felled, to be destroyed. What is wrong with us? Why? Why are we doing this? And you see, Doc, we are discussing the environment. We are discussing our survival. Trees is about our survival. How can human beings survive without trees? How can we survive without oxygen? How can we? How can we survive without carbon sinks? How can we? I have intercepted fresh documents. Fresh documents.
I am in government, but I don't see
Interceptor in chief.
I don't see government material.
Doc,
you are in opposition. You always intercept.
These documents will make you. It will make you weep.
How is that so?
How the Department of Parks and Gardens in Wa, for more than 3 years, struggled to protect the only parks and gardens land in the Upper West region. It will shock you. 1st October 2021. The acting regional landscape designer called Washiu Mejida wrote to the regional lands officer, Upper West Region, where, dear sir, request for your intervention on an ongoing encroachment on our land, parks and gardens. I write to report to you on an ongoing encroachment exercise on our main nursery land, parks and gardens, along the Kambali Road by an unknown developer. As a custodian of government lands, we will be very grateful if you could intervene on the matter on our behalf. The developer is currently at the site, filling the land with gravel without any verbal or written notification. Can you believe that? They attached our allocation certificate and other documents indicating that the land is allocated to the Department of Parks and Gardens, counting on your usual cooperation. This is copied to the Honorable Regional Minister, Upper West Region, where the Chief Parks and Gardens Officer. 19th November 2021, they sent another reminder. So the first one was 1st October 2021. 19th November 2021, they sent another one addressed to the Regional Lands Officer, Upper West Regional Lands Commission. It reads, encroachment of department's land. Why? The department has been notified of a private developer who has deposited and continued to deposit large quantities of laterite soil on a portion of the department's operational site at Wa, which is intended for construction. The Department of Parks and Gardens, with decentralized regional and district offices across the country, is mandated to provide the establishment, management, layout, planting, improvement, maintenance, and regulation of parks, gardens, and other places of public resort or recreation for the use of the public, and to contribute to the cost of maintenance of parks, gardens, and other places of public resort or recreation, provided by any person for the use of the public. The department has the certificate of allocation and cadastral plan to the said land. It has also operated on the land for 45 years in the production and promotion of horticulture for the Ghanaian citizen. In reference to the above, I humbly request your assistance in putting an immediate stop to this agenda by the private developer and for the protection of the land. I therefore submit herewith documents to the WA Regional Office and pictures for your information and action. 19th November 2021. And they attached to these letters the lease that they have since 1975, the cadastral maps and all of that. They were fighting for this Parks and Gardens land for 3 good years. Then you know.
When was it sold?
It was sold in 2020. 2020. And when Abu Jinapo holds press conferences, he doesn't talk about their deeds. He is looking for cheap equalization which are not even supported by the facts, by the evidence.
But at least
he's silent on this.
Is the local government working on this? Or there's nothing like that happening?
But in their first response to you, the ministry's first response to you, they did indicate that a portion of that land had been given to a private developer for a filling station or something, not so?
Yes. Okay. Yes, but now we have all these fresh intercepted documents which shed more light on what was going on. And the parks and gardens, you can tell that they didn't just sit aloof for 3 years. Then guess what? On the 8th of March 2024, after all of these petitions, the regional minister decides to move in to save the lands. The regional minister gets this letter from the Lands Commission. Dear sir, please further your request for information. The subject matter above refers to enable you to take further actions on the alleged illegal development. I wish to inform you that per the records of the Lands Commission, the developer has a valid land title, deed of lease, covering the portion developed into a fuel filling station and must be noted as such. Can you believe that? This is how the Lands Commission settled the matter and told the regional minister to back off. This is signed by Achampon Wilfred, surveyor, dated 8 March 2024 to the Upper West Regional Minister. Now you have the Lands Minister on the side of the looters defending the rights of this private developer to go ahead and build.
I thought in that statement he said that the land was I forgot
that they have done rezoning. That they have rezoned the land.
Was,
so it's no longer for parks and gardens. They've rezoned. Meanwhile, under the LUSPA law, the Lands Commission, the Lands Ministry have absolutely no mandate to rezone lands. That is LUSPA's mandate. It must even come to Parliament for approval. They have no business engaging in that rezoning. You see why I say that the Lands Ministry, the Lands Commission, they are complicit? Today, I will share more documents on the complicity of this Lands Commission.
Take us there.
So complicit. This week.
But just before we move
this week.
Okay, Samuel, on the Galamsey.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I thought, then let me conclude on Galamsey.
Okay.
Let me just conclude on Galamsey. Let me just conclude on Galamsey. Look, on this Galamsey matter, the incoming president, President Mahama, just as he has announced that he will set up a commission of inquiry on looted lands, I am hoping that he will set up a commission of inquiry on Galamsey. We must identify all the actors from the top. I'm not interested in these errand boys who are in the pits. The real masterminds, the cabal, the doyens, they must be named and shamed. They must be sanctioned. And I will wish that we totally stop small-scale mining. Let's just ban it for a period. Let the environment rest. I don't mind 10 years.
You mean illegal or both?
Both.
But people have licenses. People have made investments.
It doesn't matter.
Legitimate licenses.
It doesn't matter. Look.
Unless you are prepared to pay a lot of.
Of compensation. If we are not willing to take radical steps, then let's forget it. Let's forget it. Look, a lot of these licenses. Are you aware that there are licenses in forests? Licenses that should not have been granted in the first place.
But that's different. That's different. Yes.
So
if there are licenses that are illegitimate that were unlawfully granted.
So look, we are saying that we are not interested. In any case, what are we getting? You've seen all the reports, the smuggling that goes on.
You're getting, this year alone.
As compared, what is officially registered, as compared to the smuggling, what actually other countries are getting, is peanuts. Commission of inquiry. We go after the real McCoys. We sanction them. We place a total ban for a good number of years to reclaim our environment, to restore our water bodies, and then after 10 years, we can really decide on what we do. If we are not willing to take radical steps, anchored with integrity of leadership, Because look, under the name of, they are sponsoring parties, who are those they are sponsoring? Who are those they are sponsoring? Those of us close to party financing. We know the struggles it is to campaign and to I mean, who are they? They go and identify a few people, they themselves are the ones financing themselves out of their nefarious activity. Have you ever been approached by any small scale man? I don't know them. These so-called Galamsey people, who are they sponsoring? Who? And at where? Please, let's go after the real McCoys. Let's have this commission of inquiry. Let's punish people. Let us stop this small-scale mining for a considerable number of years. Let's let our environment, which we have so raped and brutalized, breathe. Because this is a survival issue. And I will come back to the complicity of this notorious Lands Commission. Since the minister has invited us to this national debate, we will have the national debate. I'll come back to that.
All right. Doc, you want to say something?
Yes.
And as you go on, one of our ardent viewers, Adelaide, she says that because you're a medical doctor, she'll let you speak to this, and that amongst the
male infertility.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Is that true?
Yeah, the thing is that, one of the biggest problems is, like I'll say, reproductive health. And it's not just about the men. The women also struggle in terms of our reproductive health. Now, there are two sides. Both infertility, that is one. I mean, when it affects the semen or sperms of the men, and then the eggs of the woman. And that's why you'd end up with, babies without the eye, babies without the limb. I think I spoke about that earlier. And more importantly, I think that when you see how they handle mercury, which should not be touched, and the fact that it can cause cancer to you, the person, end your life much earlier, then But I have also been in rooms with people who are just clueless, in the sense that when you tell them that what they are doing will lead to cancer, it doesn't make sense to him. What he's talking about or worried about is what he would eat the next day. So you telling him that in 10 years, this thing you're doing is going to cause you that. It
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense in his frame of mind or reference, and there's nothing for him than just doing havoc to the environment. But in all of this, I believe that we certainly have a problem, and I'm so much concerned.
So what you're seeing actually on the screen is something DRC, cobalt mining.
Yes.
Some of the defects that they have, and this is quite close to the findings of Professor Sampini.
And that's why he left.
Yes.
And that's why he left. And I don't know if pictures are not enough or videos are not enough. And I think that part of his research was on fetus. I mean,
he's a pathologist.
And the many children that have been lost to illegal mining. And I think that, in Latin, they say the graveyard has all the secrets. It's where you just see everything. And pathology tells you in toto, because when the baby is dead, you can do all you can. And we are not just looking at the impact on those living. Those who have died are telling us a lot that the ravages of illegal mining is serious. And I think that, I don't know what our conscience is like, but when your water is being damaged, the water that you need to drink, bath with, and gives you life or livelihood, I can't imagine why this alone is not even something that thieves and people who claim to be well-meaning will not be so upset. And I really think that one way or the other, more sensitization needs to be done, and that's where the civic education, I think, needs serious budgetary allocation in terms of talking and making pronouncements in these areas as to the ravages of illegal mining. And then the other bit is job creation. And we need to really, as it is, I think that a concept of franchising so that people will belong in an appropriate way to mine and not damage our forest or not damage our water bodies. And I think that environment, ministry, lands and forestry, and in fact, agric, and then health needs to sit down firmly on this issue, like lock them in some place for 2 weeks, and then they come up with it, because the solutions are there. The solutions certainly are there. And I guess we can't do this without the military, and then the legal ambit. And let's do something. I mean, they still mine in California. It's fantastic when you watch it, So why can't we do that and all benefit? And in summary, I think that truthfully, political will has suffered or has not been very apt. We were brave to say we'll do all we can and put our presidency on the line, but I must admit that in the exigencies of time, you might say some things, but later on, when people may be very close to you, you then find to be very involved. If you're not careful as a president, you might find it very difficult to dish out the appropriate justice or measures that needs to be done. But you need a firm hand to rule this country. Wow. And someday, not necessarily even this generation, we might have somebody who can be very firm. And it has taken the lives of many and also damaged the reputation of many who had ended with so many years. And I always look at Dr. Frimpong Boateng and what he's done. His document still sounds very firm, and the solutions certainly are there. Sunsumpe, Honam, Ayemere, and I think we need to do more. But back to also, I think since he started with the lands, just because his notes are plenty, and I don't have all of them, but I think that I must admit that Honorable Martin J. Kosa, admittedly, on the floor of Parliament, said quite frankly that because I think Parks and Gardens is under him, and he was very firm and clear that they were going to move the private entity from their land.
That's Accra land.
That's Accra land, yes.
No,
and then Watu.
Okay.
And he has taken a very bold stand to defend and make sure that government lands and property under his watch or under the local government are carefully done. And just to bring something...
Maybe you don't sit in cabinet, but maybe...
cabinet.
Why do we have ministries speaking across purposes when it comes to land? Look, this local government and lands ministry. On this show, I've spoken about lands ministry, a ministry of defense. The land behind the Burma camp.
Yes.
Where the lands ministry is giving the people title. The defense ministry also says that, hey, it's our land, they can't go there. So they also deploy their soldiers. And the last time you saw my people go and pour libation and rain cases and all that. How come we have people who sit in the same cabinet? Same cabinet. And yet they're speaking across purposes over
the issue.
Lands.
Yes. So apart from defense and lands, and then local government and lands over the parks and gardens.
Even environment.
CSIR.
I think there was a
Then you also have the latest one is the interior minister. Boster Institute, the prisons barracks.
He said he was going to look into that.
Yes, when he came to respond to my...
When he came to respond, he said he would look into it. But he admitted that...
And yet, lands minister, and this lands minister should be careful. Who is he serving? Because you see, his statements Do you know the latest development? This developer is now emboldened. He has gone to court to place an injunction on the local government minister.
Which developer?
The Upper West. The Upper West.
But do you blame the developer?
Because
I've gone to buy land.
Because he's now emboldened by the statements of the lands minister.
And I really think that maybe
the lands minister not speaking to documents provided him by his technical people.
Because they are selling the lands.
Maybe,
because they are complicit.
Maybe
they have absolutely no business selling these lands and rezoning lands without recourse to LUSPA.
Yeah. So
Parliament.
I think that.
But the level of complicity is told us that by a certain directive. I hope I'm making the right reference. By a certain directive.
Yeah. By
it's only the president.
Yes.
Who can authorize the sale or disposal of state lands, not so.
No,
if the process,
it's a bogus.
There are many processes, but bogus eventually,
directive.
I mean, depending on the sensitivity.
Do you know the things going on? Have you look? I would encourage Ghanaians just 1 minute to read the 160-page report of the sole inquirer, the commission established to look into the demolition of the Bulgarian.
Established by the Minister of Lands.
By the Minister of Lands. Justice Kwesi Oforiatta. If you read some of the things the Lands Commission people came to tell the commission under oath, you will collapse. Look, this is the Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, page 17.
When was it, sorry?
This was in 2022, May 2022. Okay. It says, we are having situations where government land is registered as private land. Yes, you see, and this is a verbatim report. Yes, you see, ideally, before you give a certificate, you have to check all the records of the commission. Unfortunately, sometimes due processes are not followed and certificates are issued. Can you believe that?
Well, this is one of the things I was going to point out today that, listen, all jokes aside, the Accrackers, I think this weekend on 23rd, you're having some program, right?
24, next Saturday, homecoming. Saturday.
Wow. The Accra land, Accra High, Presec, even Legon, many governmental schools have not appropriately made sure that they have their titles. And I think that, you know, that there are two ways to go about this.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
You see, on this thing that you've spoken about, I find it problematic.
Even Pantine.
Just hold on.
Yeah.
I find it problematic when the Lands Commission of the Republic of Ghana is actually placing a responsibility on these public educational institutions to take the step to regularize their land.
And that is...
Who does the Lands Commission work for?
Yeah.
That is why
the Lands Commission is not a private institution.
At all.
The Lands Commission is supposed to be an outfit that should safeguard the lands.
Exactly.
So if you have,
and that is their constitutional mandate. And
case,
Article 258.
Has the Lands Commission even written, for example, has the Lands Commission written to, let's say, Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, that we realize that these lands are located to Accra High School, Accra Academy, Prempeh College, ABC, this, that, has not been regularized. So please take steps to do ABCD to do that.
And that is...
Why would we then hide behind the fact that some regularization has not been done, so we can cut off some of the lands and sell out?
So I'm really of the opinion that, and not to you know, belittle the exercise you're doing, but I really think that if we're very serious, then the call should be to ensure that all governmental institutions, lands, and what have you, need to be properly
The Lands Commission must be doing that.
Documented.
The Lands Commission is in every region.
Yes.
So Greater Accra Lands Commission, they have all the documents.
Yeah.
The maps, the everything, they have all that. So they know what was given to Presec. They know. They know that the Presec lands are yet to be registered.
Yeah.
So they, as the relevant institution working for the state, should be those who should bring it to the attention of the relevant authorities. At the end of the day, when Presec loses the land, it's not the headmaster.
And you know, the cost.
The land.
Doc, let me just support you.
Okay.
Article 258(1)(b) talks about what you are saying, Doc. 2581, Lands Commission. There shall be established a Lands Commission which shall, in coordination with the relevant public agencies and governmental bodies, perform the following functions. So D, advise on and assist in the execution of a comprehensive program for the registration of title to land throughout Ghana. That's their mandate, their constitutional mandate.
So I really think that looking at some of the instances, and I can cite today, Pantai Hospital at what's it, Oyarifa.
Yes.
I mean, listen, the hospital's frontage is taken.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody builds a hospital and gives a frontage to somebody to build a house.
Because there are people benefiting from that, from that situation.
And I really think that it is sickening, and I think that, forgive me, you know, coming back to some of the things, we need to, you know, take the bulls by the horn and the proper approach. Because I've had headmasters sit in front of us, and mind you, the money to regularize these lands, they don't have it. Why are they going to get it? Because it costs to regularize, and which we all know. And I think that government to government institution, if a university or government institution is regularizing, the cost should not be the same as, quote unquote, a private institution. And some appropriate cost centers have to be, you know, created so that when Presec or St. Peter's wants, or, you know, so that I'm not, Wegehe, St. Rose's wants to regularize their land, it should be government to government interaction. Monies must not necessarily exchange hands, so that it is done in a very accountable way. And all of our schools, I'm not even going to go to the CSIRs and all of these other nice institutions, but at least our institutions can have peace of mind about their lands. And you know, the painful thing is that some of the chiefs are reselling lands that have been bequeathed to government institutions. Yeah. And I think that that is also appalling. You know, with the greatest of respect to our chiefs in this country, I mean, I think that, and one of our problems in this country is our bond. Our words are not bonded. You know, when a pact is done between you and myself, and a third generation has to abide by that pact, the third generation says that bogus, bogus, bogus. And I believe that that culture has to change. If in this country, arrangements between, you know, chiefs and, you know, government cannot be ensured to be what it is for hundreds of years, then we are joking. And I think that the judiciary has to come in. And when I mean the judiciary, you know, you take your case to court, and because you don't have money, when you have actually the title, it's ruled against you. And I think, I mean, listen, yesterday, Professor Atame was, you know, MP for Cape Coast, right?
Yes.
I mean, Edna, you know, Ekunfi, KE, yeah. He made this very, you know, appeal that it is so painful to have your title, and yet somebody's building on your property.
Oh, yeah.
And this country, until we respect the rights, the legal document.
It's about might, not right.
You know, the legal document.
Impunity.
Which tells you that this thing is for this person. When we fail to do that, and then when the machinations go against the person with the appropriate rights, then we have a problem. Because it shouldn't be the highest bidder who wins these cases. And when we don't adhere to, you know, these things where your title is really your title, and nobody, and this backdating of titles and all of these, you know, is bad. And even state lands are also being taken. I mean, and that one is another discussion. But looking at my experience on public account, you know, this issue of governmental institution losing, you know, a bit here, a bit there. And I remember working on the environment and science and technology. CSIR has a very remarkable story of their lands, which are being preserved for, you know, farming, being preserved for research. And people are encroaching on these. And mind you, like I said, to wage a war on a private developer in this country sometimes is not easy, because some people might be hiding behind that so-called private developer. But admittedly, this issue didn't start just in 2020.
Yes.
This issue didn't start just in 2024.
Yes.
And I think you're on a journey, which I think is rightly so. Sometimes it takes a while for us to wake up and really, under the many administrations. I mean, I've seen some of these things happen under JJ Kufuor. I mean, so admittedly, these issues will always, come up. But let me also say that in the other, places, these things are done in the open for people to appreciate the processes. And I think that it is the behind the scenes that makes it a bit murky. And elsewhere, advertisements are made that this government, land is being allocated for developmental purposes, and the adverts are run and an open bidding for any developer. And those processes are very carefully looked at and made sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. And I think that is missing in our fabric here, because sometimes, unfortunately, the land is undervalued and then repackaged at a very exorbitant amount. And that is where our judiciary systems have to be apt. And until I see heavy reversal of some of these things in the court, where the judge will tell us that, listen, this land was sold to you at way below market value. I mean, I can't imagine me buying an Osu property now at a price that, is unconscionable, and then reselling it heavily. And these are things that, unfortunately, in the Americas, they can go back to 10 years, 15 years and say that, hey, Master, you have to make a compensation to the state for buying it at that low price and all of that. But our country hasn't matured. And I think that really...
We haven't matured, or our country haven't matured.
Well, we make the country.
You can deliberately decide to still live like a kid.
Yeah.
Well, our country, the people, we the people. Because, I think that, so to make a stronger case, I think that, yes, these are major issues. I cry when headmasters and teachers, come to us and they don't have, and they can't have the funds to regularize. Because of the current, revenues they get, or IGFs for, let me cite, for instance, Odogono Senior High School in my constituency, then somebody's encroaching on their land, and headmaster is handicapped. Even money to buy, fuel for the generator cry is a problem. How much more going through a lawyer to fight this, or the police to fight this? It's not easy on many headmasters or people manning many institutions. And I think from your letter, in support of local government, the Parks and Garden people took action, well documented,
for 3 good years.
And I think that this has to be looked at, and I will commend Martin J. Kosa for pushing to defend local government. And I think, respectfully, we must admit that Henry Korte was very powerful when he, broke down some buildings here in Accra, in relation to CSIR. And I really think that, listen, it's not necessarily just the MPP government, because we have people in our government who are working, against, let me say, the encroachment of government lands. And I think that one, at least, as we talk, I'll plead with Sami to bring that out too, because it just so happens that the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration is on now. But within Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's administration, there are stalwarts who are also, fighting this. And there are videos, if we can look, I think about 2 years ago, when Henry Korte did a Rambo style. I call him Rambo. Did a Rambo style with the CSR properties. And if I tell you the backlash that he got, and the fact that the threats you think you are getting, he got them in many quarters. And I'll also plead with our top-notch military people, top-notch judges, people of high repute, who are encroaching on what do they call it? Places that actuaries. I just read recently that I think the U.S. has given us about $150 million to try and, the sanctuaries in this country. Yeah. And I'm saying that, hey, people are buying those properties for about $200 million. So if you come and give us 150, but the whole point is that why must Oyibo be giving us money to protect places that are supposed to be for birds or places that are supposed to be for animals?
Yeah, Ramsar sites.
Ramsar sites. Why must they? Why can't this boy that I don't like, Obini Beye Denkra? Why can't we, on our own, decide that we need to conserve portions of our land for our own survival? We must wait for Oyibo. But in all of this too, I think that climate change is real, and I think our ministries or ministers should be guided. And let me also add this, Sam. You need to be mindful of the fact that, listen, one of these days, we the politicians have to also fight the technocrats in some of the ministries, because sometimes behind your backs, and let me be very straight about this, there are many sins that are not necessarily the minister, but the technocrats in those ministries. They are callous, they are vicious, and they can lead you astray.
So when ministers find out, they shouldn't defend them.
And I think that
they shouldn't defend them.
Listen, I mean,
this Bulgaria Embassy Commission's report.
Yes.
The minister has refused to publish it. I had to intercept it.
Well, you and your interceptions.
When you refuse to publish, it means that you want to engage in a grand cover-up. You want to protect those who have been indicted.
Yeah, but I really think that there'll be a point in time
have to stop shielding these people.
Where the people were shielded in the ministries. You see, I mean, listen, and I'm speaking to civil servants here. If a lot of things will move, the minister might be on so many assignments. The movers and shakers are the technocrats in the ministries. And because of politics, when Sami comes, Sami will bash the minister. But for all you know, there are 100 civil servants involved in the machinations, and the minister doesn't even know. So I think that this one day I'm signing a caution to the civil servants who are doing a lot of dubious things behind the back of we, the politicians, and we will fight, and they will just be quietly there doing their signages and signing, and when minister comes to the office, they will push the documents. Minister, this one you agreed last week. Minister signs because of time. Only for a week or two later for minister to realize that, no, I should have done this. I should have looked at this. And unfortunately, these technocrats are the ones that are supposed to be protecting the minister. But when they have been soiled, bought, corrupted, then the minister suffers. So it's a very complicated game. And in as much as you are, you may, and rightly so, bash it with a political color, let's ask ourselves, who are the technocrats? Who are the civil servants who are pushing these things? And if they are corrupt, I think that the appropriate measures, and unfortunately, Doc, there are instances where one party sacks a civil servant for wrongful behavior, and then it is colored that, hey, because he's NDC or because he's MPP, and that has been how they hide behind and maneuver. But I watched something recently in the US, whistleblowers protection, and that comes to your interception and interception. We need to strengthen our whistleblower protections. We need to make sure that there's a strong path for people who will come out within an organization and say that, hey, you know, what was the guy's name? Sanchez, the guy who brought out some things during Obama's time.
Oh, the WikiLeaks guy?
WikiLeaks guy.
Julian Assange.
Julian Assange. You know, look at how he struggled. Eventually, there's been an appropriate negotiation to protect him.
Yeah.
You understand? And until people in this country who are civil servants can get those strong protections, we might not see some of these things. So from a legal administrative standpoint, the ombudsman or the whistleblowers of this country need stronger protection for their family, their life, their economic wellness, until we are doing these things as legislators. Some of these things will be always hidden in the dark alleys of governmental documents. And I think that as part of all of this work you're doing, we need to strongly advocate for people who are daring to come and say that this thing is happening in our ministry. So and so are doing this, and I think it is wrong, and I'm coming out to say it. As it stands now, many people are mute. They can't talk because there are no protections. Or if the protections are there, they're on paper. So I'm appealing that, you know, we as we move on to make these things work, our protection for these people need to be strengthened so that they can come out boldly. And the justices should hear us that, you know, when a case comes before you, be fair-handed, you know, and call it as it is, so that you embolden other right-doing people to do. If the right-doing people are rather accused, bullied, shoved, and made to pay for those sins, we struggle. And to end on this you know note, government properties are for the people of this country, and rightly so. I think that it should be protected. If government cannot protect its own land, then me and you, who can protect our land? I find that to be unfortunate, and I think that somehow, some way, moving into the future, there are many lands in this country. We better correct things as Accra expands, and I believe that someday one of the manifestos that I'll work on in this country should be that, you know, we move all of these regional operations or capital of Accra to another place so that we can have a decongestion in Accra. I always cite California. Their capital rotates, you know, so there's an established capital like, you know, Sacramento, but really every 10 years they rotate their capital so that it allows for you know, decongestion and growth and development in other places. Imagine if local government was in Akosombo. If you have local government issues, we all drive to Akosombo. Within a short time, Akosombo will develop. And I really think that is someday a manifesto that I'll be working on if somebody contracts me, because I think that to develop Ghana, we need to, and it shouldn't be Kumasi. It shouldn't be a big region now. It should be a new, you know, region to help Ghana grow. But so be an advocate for people who are whistleblowers, and that is my submission.
Doc, I would like to commend my honorable colleague this morning. His approach is a patriotic one, and people like him are rare in the system these days. They deliberately come to these debates to obfuscate, to engage in cheap partisanship, and we are not able to make progress. We lose focus. The protection of state assets that we must all focus on, we are distracted, and then the looters have their way. But he has not adopted that approach this morning, and I'm not surprised that he's working with me on the Protection of State Assets Bill. He's one of the sponsors of that bill. These are the patriots, you know, the nationalists that this country should celebrate. And I'm really disappointed that your party doesn't appear to be making very good use of you.
They are making use of me.
That's my only disappointment.
They are making use of me, please.
In this whole matter. now let me quickly.
I have no comment.
Quickly remind. Let me quickly remind all of us that these discussions we are having, these are lands for all of us. If you read Article 2571 of the Constitution, it provides all public lands in Ghana shall be vested in the President on behalf of and in trust for the people of Ghana. So these are our lands. Whether you are MDC, MPP, PPP, CPP, don't allow anybody to use cheap partisanship to distract you. Let's come together. Let's form a coalition. In this debate, I don't care if there were wrongdoing, some elements within the previous NDC government who sold lands under dubious circumstances. Let's drag them. Let's expose them. Let's retrieve and repossess. Because I was never invited to any NDC Congress where we pass a resolution jointly and severally that all of us, we are endorsing some land looting somewhere, in some area, some territory. So why should I defend your shenanigans? When you were making the profits, the proceeds, and pocketing it, did you share it with the entire NDC? So I don't get it when people try to reduce major national issues. This state capture debate is about the destiny of this country. What will be left for future development? That's what this discussion is about. Apart from the fact that these are our lands, we are talking about lands that we must preserve for future needs. If we must build hospitals, where do we go? Agenda 111. Has the president not set time without number that the reason why he missed all his deadlines is that they were struggling to get lands? If they were not busy selling the lands indiscriminately, dissipating the lands, if state capture was not on the rife as it is now, would they have faced those struggles? What lands will be used for industrialization? Unemployment is the biggest headache of the youth today, 14.7%. If we must industrialize, if we must build more factories, where are we going to put up those lands? Our predecessors, the forebears, they acquired huge land banks, preserved them, saved them for us. We have come to inherit them. And all we do is to sell recklessly and sometimes sell to ourselves. That people who are put in charge, they die, and then when their wills leak, you see that in their wills are state land, state assets, forests, Ramsar sites, which should never have been sold in the first place. They are willing it to nephews forever. I mean, so we are talking about a canker that we must come together to uproot. Let's not allow anybody to reduce this to cheap partisanship or we versus them. You are either on the side of those who want to protect state assets, protect public lands, or you are on the side of the few looters. And I hope that those few looters you are defending, they will call you and give you some of the millions of dollars. That is how, excuse my language, stupid you will appear. Look, Doc, this Upper West Parks and Gardens land, let me just briefly quote the local government minister in Parliament on the 4th of July 2024. This is the Hansard of that day, column 22, Mr. Kosa. And by the way, Dr. Adumaku Kisi, you are asking me to identify good guys and praise them when I have to. You clearly haven't followed me. I have issued at least 2 public statements commending the local government, the current local government minister.
Fantastic.
That he's a great guy.
Today I'll buy you one beer.
He's clearly not on the side of the looters. Yes, I've said that. If
I'll buy you one beer.
Unfortunately, I don't drink. So
well,
you buy me cranberry juice.
I'll buy you cranberry juice.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. I'll gladly accept.
Well, it's nice. I'm so happy.
Yes, I've commended AJ Mensah. He's a great guy. He's not on the side of the bad guys. He's not. I've also commended the management of the prison service. They are in a battle of their lives. They've even filed an appeal.
So Interior Minister
against Dr. Baumier's senior advisor, who is reclaiming their land.
I think
no, it's important. It's important. It's important to state the facts.
I'll be quiet and
So I have commended these folks, the prison service management, the local government minister. Listen to the local government minister in Parliament. He says, I did indicate earlier that the land in contention is covered by a certificate of allocation dated 27 November 1975 to the state. On the basis of this, we reject the claim by the Regional Lands Commission. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, we are not aware, as a ministry, of any decision by the state to relinquish its interest in the land. If that were to be the case, it should have been before this House. On the basis of that, we still believe that the land still holds as a property of government, the Department of Parks and Gardens for that matter, and we intend to reclaim it for the state, unquote. Great guy, positive-minded minister. Now this week, Doc, the lands minister addressed a press conference. And despite the avalanche of evidence, the overwhelming evidence of state capture, look, when we walk around, we are not blind though. The folks in the Roman Ridge flat who have been told to move out. The folks at the prisons barracks who have been told to move out. And if you read, because of time, if you read the Hansard of 5th July, the Interior Minister came to Parliament and confirmed that yes, and they are going to give portions of that land to private developers. We see the demolitions of bungalows, civil servants, public servants writing to us, petitioning. We have them. And yet the lands minister addresses a press conference and tells us that all of this state capture concerns is propaganda, and that every public land, he uses 3 words, is safe, intact, and secure. Hey!
I mean...
Intact for the where? Intact. So what
I think the key word there is largely intact.
Yeah, so you should have probably edited the script.
It's largely
largely. Largely. What you see around, is it largely?
That's what I mean by largely, you know.
You should have said, maybe a little. No few is intact.
No. I mean largely. Government.
You speak some guy in your constituency.
If
he has said no confuse, you are intact.
Even the water bodies and forest reserves
are not intact. Then land in prime location.
I think you have a point there.
Now, Doc, I told you about latest intercepted documents.
Interceptor.
Look, right after the minister's press conference.
Okay.
Clearly, who will now easily retire.
No. We don't want him to retire.
Interceptor Junior.
Right after the minister's press conference, I start getting calls from all kinds of places. That mini minister, what is all of that about? What does it mean by?
Your guard is so good.
What does it mean by safe?
You need some more kinky.
Intact and secure.
You need some more kinky.
This is an official certificate of result of search dated 14th August 2023. The last
2 days ago.
Yeah, no, 2023.
Okay.
Last year.
But can anybody just get this? Or how did you get it?
No, don't worry. We are intercepting documents.
So verified.
So apparently, the last 2 officially wrote to the Lands Commission on the 7th of August 2023 that the land that they gave to government on the 11th of March 1943 in North La, prime location, North La. Galamsey is here, he knows all the demarcations very well. And indeed, they attached, they have the maps. So they attached the cadastral map to their petition. They want to know the status, whether it's intact. Now, this was land that the government told them that they were going to use for a dairy farm in 1943. This is the result of the search. The Lands Commission told the last two that on the 29th of June 2020, President Akufo-Addo caused to be sold a portion of the land to Full Men Limited. Full Men Limited. The portion marked A. If you read, I've given you a copy of the documents. The portion marked A. That whole portion has been sold to Full Men Limited. 29th June 2020. Lands Minister telling us under Akufo-Addo our lands are intact, safe, secure. 29th June, sold to Full Men Limited. Then the portion marked B. Portion marked B, this portion. All of this land at Northla, marked B. The Lands Commission says on the 3rd of September 2019, the government, for that matter, the president, you know, is the president, you can't sell without the president under Article 2571, sold the land to Mask Business Consult Limited. Number 3, the portions that are marked, that are edged in green, that the last two wants information on. The Lands Commission replied them. On 1st October 2020, the President of the Republic sold the land, that entire portion, to Messrs. Amantra Limited. And Messrs. Amantra, they are very powerful people. As soon as Messrs. Amantra secured this 1st October 2020, they resold portions on 5th November 2020.
1 month.
1 month, yes, to B5 Plus Limited.
1 month after.
Yes, 1 month
getting
after.
The land.
Yes, 1 month after, to B5 Plus Limited and Definitely Ghana Limited. It will be interesting to know how much Amantra bought the land for and how much they resold it. It will be very interesting because we know what goes on. They go and buy it cheap. So what comes to the state, what comes to all of us, may just be some 400 or 500,000 cedis. Then they go and sell it for millions of dollars. Amantra's portion was so huge that on 27th November again, they sold the remaining portion to Unique Development Company Limited. So very interesting. 2020, during COVID, when we thought that the president was only busy in managing COVID. So what does the lands minister really mean when he tells us that all our public lands are safe, intact, and secure? So from these documents, and when you add the latest one to all of what has gone on, Bulgaria Embassy, Boster Institute, the prisons barracks, what is happening in Kumasi, what has happened in Wa, what is happening in Ho, in Tamale. The minister himself admitted that they have had to reverse some sales in Tamale a few weeks ago. I mean, it's like marauding invaders. Like there's no tomorrow. And I keep asking, why is it that these sales, Doc, you are the Gamanche, you know every corner in Accra. Do you hear about these sales? Why is it that it's never advertised? There's no transparency? I mean, you don't hear about it. It is only when you conduct a search. And then poor last two, under Article 20, at least they should have had some first right, some know-how about this. They didn't know. They didn't know. The chiefs had no idea. So why is it that these sales take place under such opacity, such darkness?
Well, back to my point.
And when you do that, you call a few cronies to come for these lands. How sure are we that we are getting value for money? Even if you must sell, you are rezoning and all of that, and we know that this rezoning is being done without even recourse to the law. Why not advertise? Why not let it be competitive? So that we give it to the highest bidder. Look, if B plus 5, or how are they called? B5 plus, B5 plus and others, we're interested in these lands. Do you know how much we will have gotten if we got it at the B5 rate? But then it's sold to a mantra. And then they now call the big boys and get the best deals. So the government of Ghana, all of us, we the people, we don't deserve the best deals. Why do we use middlemen? I mean, what's happening
So they
in this
take
country?
the land and in a month.
Yeah, in a month. 1 month. Just 1 month. They call B5. They call unique. And then they call a third company.
What was the request that convinced the president that he needed to give them the land? Land which they obviously didn't need.
They clearly didn't need. Clearly they didn't need. I mean,
anyway,
God help us.
All right, let's end it here, gentlemen. We need to go back. Guess what? Somebody sent me a discussion on the Galamsey. Yeah. Somebody sent me an interesting video. I'll play it for us to see. But today is the birthday of the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf. Today is his birthday.
Happy birthday.
There's also MP for...
Happy birthday, but reminder that we are waiting for you to come and account for the All Africa Games.
Well, you've asked a question.
Let him enjoy his birthday. Let him enjoy his birthday.
So Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports and also Member of Parliament, happy birthday to you. It's also the birthday of Yayira Koku.
Oh.
Yes, the IT.
The IT guru.
Yes, Yayira Koku. Today is his birthday. He's also a member of the FT's board of directors. Antola is also a member of the FT's board of directors. So Yayira Koku, on behalf of all the FTs, say a happy birthday to you.
But FTs, do they buy state lands?
I'm here to investigate that.
Hey, or they don't have the resources.
Maybe the patrons buy the lands. And maybe the FTs get it as severance awards. So happy birthday to all of you. And I was telling you about a Galamsey video. A Galamsey video that time. I was said to me,
wow.
Look.
You weep.
Look,
this country. We are not angry enough. We are not angry. Elsewhere, there will be impeachment.
You know, Makojo Boafu sent me. This is the video I was talking about. Makojo Boafu even sent me a story. His 38-year-old nephew who died as a result of Galamsey, medical complications as a result of
mercury.
Yes, 38. And he died. And he said that this country, we are not angry enough. Because if you look at what is happening, we don't even see the danger. We don't even see
it's like
that our very lives are at stake. I mean, if we can have this level of degradation, in my view, it doesn't matter whatever you do in Accra. You can build 2 million skyscrapers. If we cannot protect our water bodies and our environment, and we can allow this to happen, there can never be any failure as monumental as this. There can never be.
We're on a suicide mission. Suicide mission.
What is the point in me building a mansion and drinking contaminated water?
And money.
What's the point?
Money is not everything.
What's the point?
Money is not
What's
everything.
the point in me getting education up to PhD level for free and drinking contaminated water? What's the point? Really? Anyway.
Me go crazy am. Ah? Ne ndi dia. Ne ndi dia. Abai. Na abai no ndi di. Ye sa ko di dia o se abai. Sa ya ombre top money empendi. Omba meche o. Owan. Akufo ado ana. Akufo ado ne ka do di o. Ye ka kra ko on pe on send me. Am etabe. Hey, yeah. So guys la ba kukula la. Hey, da ba bulo. Hey. Abang je check ko ni go. Because my top money be chani na, we na be cho. This o send it siga.
She's coming. She's coming.
Oh, it's in.
Brother, receive now.
Boss, let's go back.
Here, take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh.
She's here. Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Accra Academy Old Boys Association presents Homecoming 2024, dubbed Wombashia 24. Theme: Reinvigorating the Blue Spirit for Development. Date: 24th August 2024. Time: 8 a.m. Venue: Oforie J Square. Side attraction: tennis, slam dunk, chess, and Scrabble competitions. Roll call and inter-year group Jama competitions. Wombashia Bleo, Akraka Beleo.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone.
Lakoha, Etimen missing opportunity to be the luckiest. It's time to put some smile on your face. Still asking what luck means? At Luckiest, we believe it's more than just chance. It's joy waiting to happen.
Let's go.
Dial star 712 hash. Now swallow tickets not as a group, individual, and as a community. Now participating in the Luckiest from the 1st of July 2024. Grand draw near 30th November 2024. Luck is everywhere with the Luckiest. The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform and is not for persons below 18 years. Terms and conditions apply.
The Bible is not a textbook like chemistry textbook. It's a spirit. There are no controversies. Righteousness is defined by God. What he says you are is what you are. There's no teaching in the scriptures that will be left untaught.
Join the Good Life Devotion with Dr. David Bindon on this channel to receive biblically authoritative teachings which will usher you into exhibiting the divine life here on earth. The Good Life Devotion shows every Monday to Friday from 11 to 11:30 p.m. Don't miss the special weekend edition on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 p.m. Live is good. Enjoy.
Give me the keys to your hood. Give me the keys to your gate. Now, back in the days, people used to brag about their hoods, as in the flashiest cars, the hood that has the best of hottest girls, the hood that has the best of guys with the swag. Now, fast forward, we're in the 21st century. I still want to know what's popping in your hood. So here's the case where I walk in your hood majestically for you to tell me what actually makes your hood number one and the most unique. Welcome to Hood. My name is Miguel. You can call me the Abontain Prefect.